Hey guys, what's going on? This is your host Michael, or Thoughts Become Things. In this video, we are actually going over what it looks like to impress the subconscious mind. That is the title of this video. And I'm going to be going over the stick figure example that can actually help us impress our subconscious minds by choosing conscious ideas, what we want to experience in the world. So I'm going to go over the stick figure example invented by Dr. Thurman in somewhere around the year 1934. It said that he invented this and was working on the stick figure drawing to help people achieve the life of success that they wished. So we're going to go over the stick figure drawing that is originally from Dr. Thurman and also carried forward by Bob Proctor. So let's go ahead and get into what it looks like to actually impress the subconscious mind, because we talk a lot about how to impress our subconscious mind, but let's actually go to the scientific evidence, and let's go to the stick figure drawing now to actually show us what it actually all looks like. So as you see, we're starting with a blank sheet of paper, and now we are going to draw, and what I have already done the artwork for. Now this is actually my image. I've done this via Photoshop, and I've sort of recreated this stick figure drawing. Now we have this strange looking picture, don't we? Now this is actually a picture of the mind and the body. This is actually the famous stick figure picture. This is the drawing that Dr. Thurman invented around the year 1933-1934. It says that he was working on this stick figure drawing all throughout the 1930s because he knew that there was a way to explain the concepts in which he had in his head, but he wanted to convey these in such a way that he could show people to where they could more easily learn the information, because the subconscious mind works via pictures and images. So speaking about the topic isn't quite enough, unfortunately. Most people learn by stick figure drawings. Most people learn by what they visually see. Most people are visual learners. So let's move forward in the stick figure drawing by drawing a line in the center of the head space area. As you see now, there is a line differentiating the two different minds. And let's just go ahead and call the top half of this mind the conscious mind. That's where labeling the top half of this mind for reference is the conscious mind. And then the bottom half, let's go ahead and label this half of the mind the subconscious mind. Now what's funny is that if we take this one step further, let's go ahead and label this one the body. And guys, if you are having a hard time reading this fine print, and I understand that if you're watching this on a mobile device, it might be a little bit harder to see, I am reading through what all of these text items are saying. So the top half of the big circle is the conscious mind within the diagram, and then the bottom half of the big circle is the subconscious mind. And that is sort of our head space area where we create reality. And this diagram actually further proves that we do in fact have the conscious power to create anything that we want in our lives. But now we're doing it via the 1934 diagram by Dr. Thurman. So again, we have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and we also have the body. The lower, smaller circle represents the body. So now that we have this diagram, let's go ahead and talk briefly about what the subconscious mind firstly is. The subconscious mind is actually our emotional mind, because we have to understand what each mind is actually doing, and we also have to understand what the body is doing in this whole equation of reality creation. We're going through that equation right now. Thank you for tuning into this video. The subconscious mind is our emotional, illogical mind. Did you also know that the subconscious mind, another attribute here, is that it must accept, that it cannot reject what you give to it? Whatever you give over to your subconscious mind controls the vibration of the body. And we're going to soon see what happens when you impress an idea upon the subconscious mind, but we're just going over what the subconscious mind is right now. Alright, now that we're done with that, next let's go over what the conscious mind is. The attributes of the conscious mind is that the conscious mind is very logical. This is our reasoning factor. This is where we can picture and imagine certain ideas. It's called the thinking mind. The conscious mind attributes also is that it can accept, reject, and originate ideas. Did you realize that the subconscious mind doesn't have the power to reject ideas? The subconscious mind must accept what you plant into it. This is very, very important to understand as far as reality creation goes, and I'm simplifying it all in this video. So the conscious mind attribute is that it's logical, it's the thinking mind. It can, in fact, accept or reject ideas. The subconscious mind cannot reject, it must accept. But guess what? The logical mind gets to pick and choose, and it can also originate ideas via the imagination and intuitive thinking. We're basically using our intellect to pick and choose and sort through ideas that we choose to give over to the subconscious mind. But most people are miscreating. I declare and decree that you're not miscreating from this day forward, because you see this diagram. You see the proof that Dr. Thurman has left us within the 1930s as he was working on this diagram. In fact, this is worth its weight in gold if you really understand what's going on, because this diagram right here shows you how you can actually take back control of your life. So before we move on, if you are feeling victim to circumstance, I want you to go over this video and rewatch this video until it deeply sinks into your subconscious mind that everything that you're seeing on the screen is not even my invention. I'm just carrying this forth. Bob Proctor also carried this diagram forth and often taught the Dr. Thurman Fleet stick figure diagram. You can look this up for yourself, perhaps research it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go on Google and go on a search engine and check out Dr. Thurman Fleet, the stick figure example. I'm just carrying this forward and exemplifying the idea that, guys, we do have control over our lives. And we have control over our lives if we understand this diagram. But let's move forward. It's good to note that what just appeared on screen is that I added in on the big circle, I added in the two words thinking and feeling, and I separated them. Because the conscious mind, it's good to note that the conscious mind is our thinking, rational mind. It does the choosing. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is our feeling mind. That's our emotional, illogical mind. It must accept whatever is given to it via the conscious mind, the conscious, rational thinking mind. You see how important it is to be very conscious of what you're choosing every day, what you're choosing to think for yourself every single day? So the conscious mind is our thinking mind, and the subconscious mind is our feeling mind. The subconscious mind and the body are actually very closely tied together. Because if you're feeling a certain way and you're perhaps not feeling that great, it means that your subconscious mind is controlling your body, making you not feel so good. And there could be deep reasons that your subconscious mind might be feeling not so good because you have impressed the subconscious mind with unfavorable things from the conscious mind. Does that make sense? So if you tell your conscious mind certain things over time that are unfavorable, and there's weeds and there's poison and there's thorns and thistles in our thinking habit life, which there is for many people, that eventually seeps down into the subconscious mind, causing you to not feel so good, and it puts the body in a very poor vibration. So we must entertain new ideas. I declare and decree that you are implanting new ideas. We're about to talk about the idea how to impress the subconscious mind. So this is what it actually looks like. This is the title of this video. This is actually what it looks like to impress the subconscious mind. So here's the diagram. We begin with the simple stick figure diagram. The conscious mind as well as the subconscious mind, which makes up the fullness of what we call the mind, or the mental factory. And then we also have the body. So we're resetting this stick figure diagram, and now we're moving forward to how to impress the subconscious mind. So here's the first point to impress the subconscious mind. The arrow is information that you choose going into your conscious mind. It's what you're entertaining. This is how to impress the subconscious mind. It's by choosing deliberately via your conscious faculty You choose the idea, and then you simply entertain it through constant spaced repetition, or CSR. This means that you are not only entertaining certain positive, healthy ideas, but you are doing it on the regular. You are doing it as a habitual lifestyle. And what happens is, if you do this on a habitual lifestyle, you're beginning to plant seeds. And what I just added there in the diagram are a whole bunch of arrows, which now, since you have chosen the idea and you are entertaining, it could be any idea, guys. You choose what it is. It could be of a positive or a negative nature. Now it's time to consciously create your reality. So choose positive, healthy, uplifting ideas for you. I declare and decree that you're only choosing the best ideas that promote your health and well-being. Only the best positive ideas for yourself that you know in your heart, hey, this is going to truly give me the feelings of being fulfilled. So choose the ideas on the conscious level, then you continually entertain it. Guess what you're doing? You're impressing the subconscious mind. You see all of those arrows from the conscious mind into the subconscious? Remember, the subconscious mind must accept whatever you give it. It cannot reject. That's a attribute of the subconscious mind. Isn't it actually good to know that the subconscious mind cannot reject you? So if you tell the mind healthy, positive things, such as, why am I so wealthy? Why am I so healthy? Why am I now living my dreams to the absolute fullest? Why am I now attracting only abundant things, people, places, and environments into my circle? If you continually tell yourself those statements via the conscious mind, the subconscious mind cannot reject you. We already talked about the main attribute of the subconscious mind is that it's our emotional mind, and it must accept whatever you give over to it. So do you see how important it is to choose a specific positive idea? Consciously choosing and deliberately placing seeds into the subconscious mind. Anything that you entertain via your conscious mind is actually being subconsciously impressed into that other part of your mind called the emotional mind, which is in fact the subconscious mind. So do you see how deliberate we must be to take control of our lives? You must be specific on what you want. You must get very, very clear on what you want and then begin impressing it. And as you impress it, those arrows leading down to the subconscious mind, that's you impressing that idea that you chose via constant spaced repetition. And you're not just doing it once, you're planting seeds day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 33, day 103. Day 303, day 311, and you're impressing the subconscious mind. The more you repeat something, those are the things that are actually impressing into your subconscious mind, which in turn creates your reality. Moving forward, you'll know you've impressed the subconscious emotional mind when you feel worthy of what you've planted. See, because how do we really know that we've impressed our subconscious mind? Well, there's only really two ways to know that we've truly impressed the subconscious mind. Remember, we chose the idea with our conscious faculty, and then we planted it into the subconscious mind via constant spaced repetition. That's all you need to do to really create your reality. But how often are you really deliberately choosing what you think every day? Many people know this information already, but they're not really applying it. I declare and decree that if you're watching this diagram, you are now applying it, and that your life is changing for the absolute best. You see, you'll know that you've impressed the subconscious emotional mind when you feel worthy of what you've planted into it via the conscious mind, via the idea that you chose. And you're planting all of those seeds day by day by day, and they're seeping down into the subconscious mind. And guess what? The final part to this diagram, as you see now, is that you achieve the results. You achieve what we call the results. There's actually two ways to know that you've fully impressed the subconscious mind with that idea. If you're not seeing the results, you continue impressing the subconscious mind. It's as simple as that. You haven't gone long enough. See, that's the only problem, is that you must go so long of impressing that subconscious mind that eventually it accepts the idea. And unfortunately, a lot of people do quit before they see the results. I declare and decree that you are persisting, that you're persevering. with the idea that you chose. Many people quit on that idea. Guys, never take that escape hatch. Always continually impress your subconscious mind with the ideas of your choosing. And continually do that. Continually affirm every single day. Mark off on a calendar, as I always say. If you must, mark off on a calendar. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I mark off with red pen. I literally put red ink and I write an X through each day of the week. Every time that I'm done and I know that I've impressed my subconscious mind and told myself that information that day, I write an X through the day and say, I have achieved this on the day, and I go 100 days, 300 days, however long this takes. But back to this diagram really quick before we end off this video. Thank you dearly for tuning into this information. This information is truly invaluable. This information was carried forward by Bob Proctor. And this information really does mean a lot to me, and it means a lot to the community of reality creation. Many people are very familiar with this diagram, but I am just going over it once more. I'm going over it again. We will continue going over this diagram if need be. But back to this diagram, there's only two ways that you know that you have impressed the subconscious mind with that idea of your choosing. And the first way that you know that you've impressed is that you're starting to feel different. You're starting to feel like the possibility of, like, you're actually starting to feel within you, hey, this is actually possible for my life. I actually feel worthy of this. Like before, I kind of just nonchalantly kind of wanted and wished it. But after you are really starting to impress the subconscious mind, guys, you'll begin, that's one tall tale sign that you've impressed the subconscious mind, is that now you're actually beginning to entertain the idea that, hey, wow, this is actually seriously possible. I didn't really think this was possible, but I'm starting to feel different about this topic. I'm actually starting to feel like, hey, this is actually going to happen. And that's how you know that you're doing everything right. That's the first way that you know that you've impressed the subconscious mind. Now, here's the easy way. If you really want to know that you have impressed your subconscious mind, it's going to be via your results. Whatever you've impressed your subconscious mind with, you are going to begin seeing those results. Say that you chose an idea. I am so happy and grateful. Why am I now so happy, thankful, and grateful that I have in my possession $300,000? You will attract large sums of money. You will begin attracting 50 grand. You will begin attracting 60 grand, 75 grand. You will begin attracting large sums of money. And via those results, you know, hey, wow, this actually works. I've actually impressed my subconscious mind. The easiest way to know that you've impressed your subconscious mind is the results. So after you've successfully impressed your subconscious mind, this is what happens to your body. We didn't really talk much about what happens to the body after the whole mental process that we went through, planting deliberately the conscious ideas into the subconscious mind, giving it over. Well, what actually happens is the body starts to vibrate differently, and it starts to change your behaviors. But guess what? It's automatic. It's automatic. You don't have to worry about going out and trying or doing or anything like this. Once the subconscious mind grabs the idea, it automatically produces the new results, believe it or not. This is an absolute non-negotiable fact of the universe, and fact of the mind, and fact of this model. So your body moves into a vibration and automatically produces the new results. And then you have your whole new life. That's all it is. And then you start all over. Once you achieve those new results, you say, hey, I'm going to choose a new idea. Because I know that this stuff works. I know that whatever I feed my subconscious mind via my conscious mind, whatever ideas that I choose and give it over through constant spaced repetition to the subconscious emotional mind that must accept what I give it, by the way. It must. It has no option to reject. It's completely irrational. It's completely illogical. It's actually unconditional. That's the unconditional side of our mind. It doesn't care what you plant into it, but it's going to take whatever you do plant into it and return it back to you tenfold, 20-fold, 1,000-fold. It's the seeds that you are consistently, through constant spaced repetition, which is just doing it often, every single day. Every single day you're planting seeds. Every single day, all throughout the day, you're planting seeds. How bad do you want a new life? because this diagram now has proved, and this video presentation has now proved through Dr. Thurman Fleet's stick figure model that was carried forth by Bob Proctor, that you can create your reality from scratch if you wish. Guys, reality is nothing more than a product of the mind, and now you see this plainly. You see this on the stick figure diagram. You plant the seeds via the conscious mind into the subconscious mind via repetitive thinking. You're repeating certain thoughts and phrases, and you're repeating those until manifested. You'll know that you've impressed the subconscious emotional mind when you begin feeling worthy, when you begin feeling like, hey, this is a normal part of life. It's almost as if you already have this. You also know that you've impressed the subconscious mind by the results that you're getting. Your body automatically moves into a vibration to produce the new results. And that's as simple as you can put the stick figure drawing by Dr. Thurman Fleet. Thank you, Dr. Thurman Fleet, for creating this image and diagram so that we may study it and better understand it. Guys, go over this more if you sort of didn't quite get it, because the more you go over something, the greater the clarity, the greater it's going to become more clear to you. So this video was titled What It Looks Like to Impress the Subconscious Mind. That's about it for this video. I didn't want to go on and rant or anything. Guys, I'm wishing you the best of results. Go over this video a few more times if you didn't quite understand the material. Like I said, repetition is how we learn the most. Repetition is truly the mother of all learning. We are planting positive seeds in the conscious mind, and we are spreading the seeds out into the subconscious mind via constant spaced repetition. What are you thinking about most often? What do you think about at every moment? This is just food for thought. But this diagram proves that we do, in fact, create our own reality. So I declare and decree now that you are creating your reality from a very specific and intellectual viewpoint, that you are specifically and deliberately choosing ideas via the conscious mind that are only for your highest good, that you are consciously choosing what goes into your mind, what you are feeding your mind every single day, and you are persistent as well as consistent. Thank you dearly for checking out this video. This is your host, Michael, where thoughts become things. Stay tuned for more videos that pertain to reality creation, and I hope you guys all have a good day. Whatever time it is for you, go out, create new ideas, and begin impressing it upon your mind through constant spaced repetition. And never quit on what's truly in your heart. Keep on impressing the mind. If things aren't showing up yet, it means that you are still impressing your subconscious mind. You're in the process of giving birth to your desires. But you must not quit, and you must plant every single day.